Oh, this is going so well. Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with staying at home. So today we are going to be doing the stay at home book tag. This was created by the Princess of Paperback, so I'll make sure to leave the link down below to her original video of this tag. She created it only about a couple of weeks ago, so it's relatively new, but while we are all at home, whether it is self-isolation, social distancing, quarantining, wherever you are at, the entire world is basically at home right now. So this is a great time to do a book tag dedicated to staying at home. So I thought that I would just jump on the bandwagon as well. But let's get into it because I am very excited and y'all know that I love me some tags. So let's go. So the very first question is lay in bed, a book that you can read in one day. And my answer is actually an author, not a book, and that is Becky Albertalli, specifically these two books by hers. I read both of these in one day, and she's just an author that I really, really enjoy, and I can read her books in one day. I believe I read Leah on the Offbeat in one day, but if not, then I read it relatively quickly. She's awesome. I love her. I will read anything that she comes out with. So these two are very good, and I like them. So Becky Albertalli is my answer. The second question is snacking or a guilty pleasure read. Now, for me, anything romancy, I would consider a guilty pleasure read, and that was going to be my answer until I literally finished this book like last week. So this is now my answer, and that is I Love You Subject to the Following Terms and Conditions by Erin Lyon. This is the first in the Contract Killers duology, I think is what it's called. This is such a white cover. I don't know how to show it to you, but it's basically your romance book, but set in a world where there are not marriages, they are contracts instead. So it's really like everything that you can possibly think of that would happen in a romance book happens in this book. It is not original, minus the fact that it is a contract instead of a marriage, but like a marriage kind of is a contract. So like that's original in her thought process, but like as far as the plot line of this goes, it's very, very guilty pleasure. I personally loved it because I love romance books, but this follows tropes like we've got main girl who doesn't know that she's pretty, but actually she's beautiful. We've got like a love square maybe, because she's got like 3 different guys after her at one point, so it's ridiculous. But I personally loved reading this. It was so quick and so fast paced. You don't need brain power to read that book. It's quick and fast and easy. The next question is Netflix, and that is a series that you want to start. I actually have 2 answers for this one. So the first one I don't own and the second one I do. So the first one is the Mistborn series, or at least the Mistborn trilogy, where it's like Mistborn and the Final Empire and like that whole thing. I am really intrigued by that world. It's a high fantasy that a lot of people enjoy, and I'm just really curious about it. So I'm hoping to give the first one a chance soon and see what happens. But the second series for this one is one that I actually own, and that is the Queen of the Tearling series, which is Queen of the Tearling, The Invasion of the Tearling, and The Fate of the Tearling. And these are all by Erica Johansson. But the main character in the series name is Kelsey, and like, let's be honest, that's entirely why it like grabbed my attention. But it is like a fantasy series. I believe it's high fantasy. She's like a queen of a village or like a kingdom, and if you have the Tearling Sapphire, that's like immense power. And they're not super long. Like the third one's the longest one, but the main character's name is Kelsey. Like, need I say more? Because I can pretend that like I am an awesome princess in a fantasy world. So like, dreams come true. So the next one is Deep Clean, a series or book that have been on your TBR forever. And I actually just did a TBR Fictions video, so that should be coming your way very, very soon. But this one actually didn't make it onto that list, and it's probably one that should have, so I decided to include it here and that is the Chronicles of Narnia. Now, I have read the first 3, which is The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and The Horse and His Boy, but I didn't really like The Horse and His Boy, so I stopped reading the series, and I need to read like the last 4. So I don't know how long it's been on my list, but it's been on my list for a while. So the next one is Animal Crossing, and that is a book that you recently bought because of hype. Honestly, so many books that I bought because of hype, but this one is one that I've heard about a lot, and I just kept putting it off, and then I finally bought it, like, I think it was in February, and that is Sleeping Giants, which is book 1 of the Themis Files, and that is by Sylvain Neuvel. This is a trilogy, and it's, from what I understand, it's very, very similar to the Illuminate Files because it is told in like file format and interview format. Now, I don't know a whole lot about what this series is about, but I do know it follows a girl who, when she's little, falls in a hole and there's like a metal hand there, and then as she grows up, she's actually on this team investigating what these things are. So this is the first in the trilogy. I only have the first one. I bought it secondhand, which is why it looks like it's been run over by a truck, but it's been loved, so I'm okay with that. I only wanted to get the first one because I wanted to see if I actually would like it before I decided to buy the entire trilogy. So I'm going to use this one for my answer just because, yeah, book 2 and the hype totally made me do it. The next question is Productivity, and that is a book that you kind of learned a lot from. And I'm choosing this one because it's one that I definitely have talked about a lot recently, but I still like think about this book and I still feel like I learned a ton from it. And that was I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. This is my library copy because I still have it because I'm not allowed to take it back yet. So please ignore the shine. So this one I feel like I learned a lot from because our main character in this book is non-binary and the author of this book is non-binary, so I feel like it comes from a very real place, and I just feel like I learned so much about this group of people that like I didn't really know a lot about. I think I had some friends in college that were non-binary, but I didn't quite register what that meant, and so just kind of being from this person's perspective and seeing what they have to go through, and as they kind of figure out who they are, I found it amazing, and I think everyone should read it, and it's awesome. So I think about this all the time, and I just feel like I learned so much from this book. Like, so much. The next one is Facetime, and that is a book you're gifted. And when I think of gifted books, this is what I think of first, and that are these beautiful UK paperback editions that my best friend Lauren is helping me collect. I've talked about these many times before, but she grabbed the first one because it was the Philosopher's Stone when she was over in England for study abroad one summer, and I just like obsessed over how beautiful they were. So she's been helping me collect them. I have the first 3 in paperback, and like, holy crap, you guys, these are beautiful. Like, I want to read these copies, but I also don't because they're so pretty. I don't want to like break the spine or something because they don't open very far, so like I definitely would break the spine if I tried to read these, but they're so freaking pretty. I just have a lot of feelings when it comes to these books. At this point, I'm basically collecting 3 different versions of Harry Potter. I never considered myself someone who would like collect multiple copies of books, but here we are. These are just stunning. Like, I wish I could express to you, if you live in the UK, you probably are used to these covers, and oh look, there's a little note from Lauren. You were like probably used to these covers. I think this one's my favorite, and I don't know why. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. So I will use any chance that I get to talk about how awesome these books are and how much I love them. I'm literally talking about Lauren in a video and she just texts me. We are the same. The next question is self-care, and that is something that you are doing just kind of to like take care of yourself in this time of isolation. And for me, it's something that I've talked about in some of my recent vlogs, but I have started working out at home. Now, I know a lot of people are doing that, but like I just haven't worked out since I went to college. So I decided to try to do something, and it's really simple. It's like a little 7-minute thing that I do every single day on this app that I have. It's kind of routine for me now, so that like that's what I do when I first wake up, and I know it's a weekday because that's when I do it. So it kind of like helps me figure out what day is what. a little bit in this time of like no one knows what's going on. So that's my self-care. And the very last one is a bonus question, and that is a book that is coming out that you were so excited about. Honestly, I kind of forgot when books were coming out because I had to go look at my notes to see what books were coming out recently so I would remember which ones I'm most excited about. And then I had a list of like 10, so I had to calm down. So I'm choosing the one that is coming out most recent to when I'm filming. So for me, that is The Betrothed by Kira Cass. This is the first in a new series. I don't actually know how long it's going to be, but her new series that is coming out. I love Kira Cass. I just really like her work and I will do anything for her. So her new book that's coming out is called The Betrothed, and y'all, I'm excited. I honestly forgot what this book is about, but like I didn't need to know. I just need to know that she wrote it. So she's definitely like an auto-buy / read author for me, so loved that. So now it's time to tag some people. So I think you're only supposed to tag like maybe 2 or 3, but I'm gonna go crazy and tag a ton of people because this is who I am. So I tag Savannah from Savvy Reads, Kira from Kira the Scribner, Serena from A Wandering Mind, Dora from Confessing My Reads, who just came back to YouTube, so welcome back, Michelle from Books Michelle, Ishi from Ishi Time, and Brenna from Brenna Lynn Reads. So y'all will be tagged down below. Also go check like all of their channels out because they're amazing. And you should definitely subscribe to all of them. Just saying. But if you were not tagged and you want to do it because it's fun and you're at home, so it's something to do. That's, I think, all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about stuff. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your answers would have been to some of these questions, or if you would like to do the tag like I mentioned. I will have all the questions down below, so feel free to do this. But if you do like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe it down below if you'd like to be part of this awesome and growing family. I have all my social media down there as well if you would like to follow along on any of those. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!